Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime!
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you again.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Shannon Keegren with Boise State Softball. Summer in Idaho is the best time of year. Rodeos, camping trips, and the hikes that end in views you'll never forget. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're here to get you there. With a team known for incredible customer service, the best new and pre-owned inventory, and a commitment to making your experience easy, friendly, and fast. But here's the best part. Every purchase here helps support Boise State athletics through their NIL partnership and athletic sponsorships. See you soon at Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RoadPaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State Athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
What's going on, Bronco Nation? We'll just put Johnny Ballgame full screen for today.
No.
Why not?
No,
Why not?
give me alpha this.
What's going on, Johnny? Ballgame with you. My name's BJ Rains. This is Bronco Nation News Live. It's a Thursday. It's July 23rd, and it's 2026. And we're here, Bronco Nation, BroncoNationNews.com, also streaming on the KTIK channels as well. As Johnny, long day yesterday. You guys were down there for 3 hours and then had to do a 3-hour show. At least we did our show at the same time as Media Days, but a lot of coverage, a lot of interviews. We're going to break it all down, but it was fun to be down there talking to some of the coaches and players again and getting that feel for football season. How we doing?
Yeah, it was, man. That was a solid event, really good event, to be honest. I hope Boise State, even if they had a real media day with the conference, would do something like that every year, because you make assistant coaches available before camp starts, and then you begin kind of the get to know you process, because there were 6 players that were available yesterday. Standard media day, you only get 2, and they are the 2 that you've interviewed more than anybody before. So for a chance to get like some one-on-one time with Ben Ford, Cam Bates, among others, and the coaches too, I thought was really beneficial from the top down, from Jeremiah Dickey all the way down to you and I, BJ, and certainly the fans right there in the middle. They're going to get to benefit from a lot of this access.
Yeah, Johnny, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. A lot of fun. It was cool seeing the north end zone. I mean, they were putting on I don't know if you saw it or not, Johnny, yesterday, but when we were kind of wrapping up our show, they were starting to put on the padding, on the front facade there, the concrete right up against those field level suites. They were putting on the all blue kind of padding, if the players run into it or whatever after a touchdown. I mean, they're literally putting like the final pieces, the final touches on that thing. And my understanding is from some folks who have been inside that it is just unbelievable when you walk through there, how cool it looks and how much of a game changer it's going to be. But that was kind of one of my takeaways. I mean, that was in our shot in the background, was them putting the finishing touches on the north end zone and just how different that end zone is going to feel. And that facility opening up, I guess, officially a week from tomorrow night for Banana Ball will be the first time it'll be open to the public with food going and beer going and the seats in use. It's going to be fun to see that next week. But I thought that north end zone project just kind of added to the whole feel of the day. The new blue, which is really bright and really blue, and I like that as well. And the north end zone project basically being done. They're still putting the ribbon boards on the far east side. They still need the ribbon boards, the new boards, I guess they call them ribbon boards, the LED boards that are going to go across the facade of the upper deck. Those are still being put in. But for the most part, they're just kind of, spraying that cleaner and, now cleaning off the tops of these countertops and things like that. It's pretty much done, and it looks, at least from the outside, Johnny, like that's going to be a game changer. That was a big takeaway for me yesterday.
Yeah, Prater and I had a little moment where we were, standing up on the concourse looking at the stadium, and to our left were those field level luxury suites. And we just kind of had a little daydreaming moment. Like, man, those are going to be a lot of fun. Like, that's going to be the place to watch a game. Those field level seats, like BJ, one of my favorite areas to watch warm-ups before a game is right there in the back of the end zone. That's going to be a seat now, a very, very expensive seat. But at some point to be able to see how it's just incorporating new ways to watch Boise State football in that stadium. I mean, Jeremiah Dickey from the top down, obviously, yeah, that was really impressive to be on the concourse yesterday. And the fans are going to love that too. Fans can just walk over there. It's not gated up for the VIP folks. You can just do your lap around the stadium, BJ. I mean, the restrooms are for everybody as well. So, yeah, they've done a lot to it, but those field level suites, for me, I want to look and see, what fun those people are having, because that's going to be a great way to watch Bronco football, man.
Yeah, I said this on the show yesterday, but I'm taking my kids to Banana Ball next week, and I actually bought tickets in that north end zone for this one so I could actually go in there and see it and experience it and see what it's going to be like, since we obviously won't get to do it on a football game day. So I'm going to try to get a first look of what it's like in there, and how cold the beer tastes. Johnny may even give that a try, but for Banana Ball. But I just thought the whole thing looked awesome. It was really cool. It's a game changer. You see the pictures of it and the things 2 years ago and last year didn't have any of the seats down there, and now to have it done, I think it's going to be really cool. And Johnny, you were out there on the concourse for those interviews. I think that's a big deal too, how wide those concourses are and how much extra space there is to walk. And now you can walk from the east side all the way to the other side, and you can meet people back there at the beer garden area there. And there's, that one bar right there, Johnny, that circular bar with the overhang is going to be available to people on both sides. So there's going to be kind of a meeting area there where you can go and hang out and kind of overlook some standing room spots where you can overlook and see some of the field. So not just for the people in the north end zone with seats there, I think it's going to be a big game changer with traffic flow and more room down there on that concourse in front of the coaches' offices and stuff as well.
What about Blue Chaos? Is that where they're going to put the flag? Because it makes perfect sense. It's a meeting to congregation point, BJ, and that would be, I think, a spectacular place for it too. I'm not sure what else is on the table there. Have you heard anything about what the Blue Chaos?
Yeah, there's a flag there. It was the same flag where they raised the Pac-12 flag that night at the Pac-12 show. And you may have still been around the corner on your show when that happened, but there is a flagpole right there in the corner, up on the top of that concourse, out there by the edge of the field. So I think that's probably where it'll be, and that'll be pretty cool. And another game day thing. I mean, who's that going to be for the Memphis game, by the way? New north end zone, home opener, 40th anniversary of the Blue. I mean, can you get Chris Peters? Who?
Blameyer? Gene?
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, Pete's probably working.
Pete. Yeah.
I don't know if he still has his Fox deal. And Chris Peterson, he's probably wouldn't even break his Fox deal to do that. I don't know. That's a really good question. What former player feels like maybe somebody back from the 86 team, the first year of the Blue? I don't know. There's a lot of ways they can go. That's a good one, though. What about your comments? Who would you vote? Who would you pick if you had the decision to raise Blue Chaos on the opener against Memphis? Cool.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So, let us know in the chat. Who are you? Speaking of the chat, Escalon, California checking in. Always appreciate that. We got sunny Florida checking in. New York watching the show today. Minnesota. So we're all across the country here on Bronco Nation News. Melbourne, Florida as well. Tampa Bay. 3 different cities in Florida. People are watching Bronco Nation News right now instead of out surfing or on the beach or whatever else. But Surf City Bill, Southern California checking in. The Woodlands, Texas checking in as well. So we literally are coast to coast today. Appreciate all you guys for checking us out. Luis Soto says, how hungover is the staff after yesterday's successful media day? It was a long day, Johnny. It was a long day. It was a full day, but at least on our end, everything went out pretty much without a hitch. I was super nervous about the heat, and our laptop was, 5 minutes in, I was worried it was going to overheat. Somehow it made it the full 3 hours, and we had a great show. I know you guys had some great interviews as well, but kudos to the staff over there at Boise State, Johnny, Chris Boots and David and Alex and Jordan and the whole crew over there. I thought it went very smoothly. As you said, I do hope they get back to having an in-person media day. But I hope they do this again. And frankly, Johnny, I hope they do it for basketball. Why not Extra Mile Arena Court set something up like this and let us do a show and interview the coaches and players on the basketball team come October? I actually sent an email over to them and said, great job. Hope you do this for basketball, because I thought
have a lot of pull with Leon. You could probably pull some strings and get that happening, BJ.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure I could. But I just thought it was pretty cool because no district, no offense to the Texas State coach or whoever. I mean, there's some cool storylines with all these teams, but to get on our show to go back to back 15 minutes with the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, and the special teams coach live on our air, I thought that was pretty cool. And then Spencer came in later in the show. Cool event, cool day, 3+ hours. I think we were on the air, Johnny, 3 hours and 12 minutes. And it was pretty much interview to interview, maybe 1 or 2 minutes filling between, but it was a very full day. And you can go back and watch our YouTube channel and watch the full 3 hours of all those shows. I know you guys had a couple players. I assume you taped some more that you're going to air different days, but I know you played Maddox and Virgin Morgan yesterday. What was just kind of your and Prater's experience like being out there yesterday?
I had a blast. Again, like I said, but do you want to get into maybe takeaways?
Yes.
Kind of my number one takeaway was nobody would stop talking about Tyler Etheridge, the senior left tackle or tackle from CSU Pueblo. By the way, he does fit under the 5-for-5, BJ. He's a 4th-year senior. Boise State just found out a couple weeks ago they now get him for 2 years if he stays. Nate Potter said this, and Nate Potter Prater said it yesterday too, and I agree. He's not the hyperbolic coach. Nate Potter never says crazy things about players and comparing them to people. He just doesn't go there. But Nate Potter said yesterday that Tyler Etheridge could potentially be one of the great tackles that have ever played here. And that's Nate Potter saying that. That's like Kellen Moore telling me, yeah, this quarterback, Cash Herrera, he could be one of the best quarterbacks that Boise State's ever had. If Kellen Moore says that to me, I'm like, wow, that says a lot. Way more than BJ Raines saying it. And Nate Potter said that. You weren't at that scrum, but I double-taked it to Prater. I was like, huh? And then Shenander, the defensive coordinator, I'm hearing talk about Tyler Etheridge just because they're watching the tape in the scrimmages. And that was a huge takeaway for me. I know people liked him in spring, BJ. He had the left tackle, from day one to the end? But it looks like this could have been, according to Nate Potter, Shenander, Mad Dog, everybody was talking, BJ, about Tyler Etheridge, and I haven't seen your stuff yet. You're right. Yesterday was a whirlwind. I'll go back and watch your stuff as I always do. But did you get the buzz for Tyler Etheridge at all yesterday?
Oh, yeah. He was the guy that was named by anything, and I agree. Nate Potter was saying he could be very, very, very special, and maybe I can find the clip here while you're talking on your next answer, Johnny. But Nate Potter was very, very complimentary of Tyler Etheridge. I'll find the clip while you talk here. He was a guy that came up and I hadn't even thought about the 5-for-5 thing. You're right. That's a big deal. But we had Roger Carey on, and he said a lot about him as well. But to think about, and I said this I've said this a couple of times, but Tyler Etheridge got picked, Johnny, to lead the hype circle for a practice. There's only 15 spring practices. There's 100 and something players on the team. And it was like practice 8 or 9, and they already had Tyler Etheridge picked to lead the hype circle. That kind of told me in spring all I needed to know.
Yep, they hit on a kid there. And that is cool. Like, Jason Eck has bragged to me before. Like, I gave that kid $25,000 and he made all Mountain West last year. Like, I'm like, dang, like, you can find kids, right? Diego Pavia was Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year at New Mexico State. 2 years later, he was Conference Offensive Player of the Year in the SEC at Vanderbilt. So, yeah, go figure. But you can find players, and it looks like from what the coaches are telling us, and that's all we have to go off of right now. And again, Nate's not a hyperbolic guy who pumps up everybody and tells you he doesn't do that. And Tyler Etheridge, wow, that was a really big takeaway that's probably a pretty big hit. And it's hard to value. You have to talk to Brad Bedell about this, but what is a good camp for an offensive lineman? What exactly are they looking to see? And certainly when they go back and watch the tape after practice, what exactly they see. But I heard very, very athletic for the position, the feet and the hands. And CSU Pueblo found a hell of a left tackle for the last 3 years. He was coming here with the hopes that he'd get 2, because most people thought the 5-for-5 was going to happen, and it did. So he ends up getting 2 years, hopefully, for Bronco Nation. Both will be played at Boise State. But in this line of work, when I see a player at this level get talked about like that, if they do have the home run season, sometimes it's tough to keep them. But, Boise State always seems to find the guys that want to stay. I was talking about that with JVM yesterday, and he was kind of saying the same thing. Yeah, he's paid more than anybody else on this defense. He's the big man on campus, if you will, but he could be playing in the Power 4 right now, and he wants to stay here, and they do a good job of finding a lot of those guys, BJ. And it looks like, again, the takeaway is a left tackle, but go figure, he was getting a lot of pub yesterday, and rightfully so, I guess.
All right, I think I found the clip. He starts talking about the whole offensive line, but gets into Tyler Etheridge. Here's Nate Potter, the offensive coordinator, And if the edit's not the perfect spot, I apologize here. Key spots, and you bring in, Tyler Etheridge looks like the guy that could be the leader. I know you're not. I mean, maybe you'll name him the starter now. I don't know, but he looks like the guy from spring that looks like has the best chance. We saw what Stewart did at center as well. Well, how do you look at the line and obviously some veteran, NFL talent that you're having to replace here?
I think the line is a good blend of some experience and then some new, some raw, some unproven, but I think they've all gotten so much better with their fundamentals, their technique, their mentality through the winter, spring, and now the summer. I'm really excited about Tyler Etheridge. I think it's been a long time since we've had somebody with his physical skill set at the tackle position, what he can do, some of the things he can do, I haven't seen in a long time. So very, very excited about him. And then Stu, he played a little bit, but that center position is so important for us in our offense. And we got a rich tradition of really good centers here. And I think he's embodied that. I think he's bought into that. And he has a strong voice on this team, and he plays the right way. So I'm excited about that group.
All right, couple minutes left with Nate Potter, offensive coordinator. We got a couple Nate Potter.
Right? Like, I know one of the best, like, with his physical skill set. Cage Casey was here a couple of months ago. Now he's in the NFL. Before that, John Ojukwu is still in the NFL. I mean, that position you could easily say is the best export Boise State has had to the NFL at a high level and a sustainable level. It's the left tackle. And there's Nate Potter, who was one of them, was an All-American with Kellen. It's just, they really feels like they hit on that kid, huh?
Yep.
I didn't hear that clip before. That's good, BJ.
All right, a couple other big takeaways that we want to get to, Johnny. The expectations, I think, have changed, at least in the team room. There's some talk about some players being selfish last year. There's a couple different things I want to get to in just a second, but I do want to thank a couple of our great sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Johnny saw Maddox Madsen doing a photo shoot for ICCU on Tuesday when I was testing out the equipment, so you'll be seeing Maddox Madsen in some ICCU commercials and things here soon. Idaho Central Credit Union, online, ICCU.com, best in the business. You don't realize what you're missing from your banking experience till you make the switch. Do it today at ICCU.com. TacoBellWorks.com, the SON Management Group, and $1 million donation recently to Boise State Athletics. That should be enough in itself to go support them, but great food, delicious, cheap, and quick, and love the Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations. We got 2 baseball games today with a quick break in the middle, Johnny, and there's a Taco Bell right by the field. So you'll probably see the Raines family there getting some of the cheesy roll-ups and things, maybe a Nachos Bel Grande. Taco Bell, check out a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorange.store.com, online, the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorange.store.com. You can check out the Blue and Orange Store for all your Boise State gear. And that means the officially licensed coaches gear, those jerseys, all that stuff. You can get it at the Blue and Orange Store. And, of course, Sun Cruiser. Pick up a Sun Cruiser this weekend whenever you're out there golfing, hanging out, barbecuing. They got the iced tea vodkas, the lemonade vodkas. Appreciate our friends at Sun Cruiser. You can get them at a Jackson's or Ridley's near you. All right, Johnny, couple other takeaways. And Nathan Carroll has an article with 4 takeaways. You can read his takeaways at BroncoNationNews.com if you're a paid subscriber. But he talked about in the past, Johnny, you win a conference championship, you win a bowl game, you do it with academic excellence, integrity. We all know the famous phrase up there, but it has been changed. They now want to go undefeated. They want to win a Pac-12 championship. They want to win the national championship. They are going bigger and bolder with their goals, and it sounds like the actual wording on the wall in the team room is changing to now include winning a national championship, not just to win a CFP game, not just to get to the CFP. They want to win the whole darn thing. And how likely is that at a Boise State? Whatever, you can debate that, but they're not setting their sights short of. And I'm not saying that they're going out saying this year we better win the national championship or the season's a failure, but they are raising the standard, so to speak, of what this program should aim to achieve.
I mean, good for them. Do what you want to do. I'm not really sure, it was kind of tacky, I guess, the way they kind of scratched over the bowl game and just kind of wrote CFP. So they wanted to do something and, put a national championship up there. I always kind of thought it was cool. Just keep it at, hey, win the league. win the conference. That's what we're going to do. And if anything else comes with that, 100% we'll take it. We love it. We're striving for that too. But let's just keep it winning. Let's just win our league. That type of deal. Like, I could relate that to like, radio ratings or something, or views, and maybe you could ask, hey, we want to do this, but kind of keep it. That's kind of where I am. Kind of keep it a little closer, but I'm looking forward to seeing the new work up there. Sure.
All right, Johnny, another buzzword. You said Tyler Etheridge is getting a lot of hype, and I don't know if this came in a lot of your interviews, but a lot of folks, players and coaches, told me they really like the depth of this team, the depth at a lot of key positions. I mean, everyone wants to talk about running back and Gaines and Riley. Well, there was a ton of talk about Stewart and Jules Goff coming in as backup running backs as well, and everyone feels really good about the wide receivers and the depth there. And Nate Potter told us that's for all the questions the wide receiver group has, and maybe there's not, aside from Jones, kind of just that obvious, looks like a star type of guy. He feels like the depth at wide receiver from top to bottom is actually as deep as it's been in a long time in terms of a lot of guys they feel are capable of contributing. We heard the same thing in a lot of other positions across the board, in the secondary, defense, across the board. I mean, the depth, and again, I know coaches are not going to go, yeah, we're real thin at every position. We're scared. If we get a starter hurt, we're in big trouble. I get that. But it did seem like on their own, a lot of people, to me at least, brought up the depth of this team.
The receiver depth, I mean, there's no real one. So it's just a bunch of guys. And I love the fact that they're just not doing the same old situation when it comes to the receiver room. Matt Miller is the coach. You have guys on their 4th, 5th, 6th year here, still coming back, doing their thing, never really popped and had that mega year. And you're just, well, maybe it's this. And then a fresh breath of fresh air. Alvis Whitted is doing that with the receivers. And I will say, and it's easy to say this now in July, there's no ego in a receiver room, which is there's always ego in the receiver room. And there was a lot of ego in the receiver room last year. And sometimes there's fighting amongst yourselves in the receiver room. Sometimes it's a few receivers. Sometimes it's we don't like our quarterback type of thing. You're screwing us over here. We're not screwing you over. And, who's the worst unit, the quarterbacks, or is it the receivers? Who do you blame? And feels like there's going to be way less of that. Maddox Madsen has been here forever. None of the receivers have, okay? There's not a receiver that is close to have earned the right to get with Mad Dog in his face or whatever and say, no, I'm a big part of this thing. I need my touches. Nobody. So you're going to, it's like Tom Brady in a lot of the years he had, not that I'm comparing Maddox there, but he didn't have, in many cases, he won Super Bowls without a name receiver, because he just threw to who was open, and there wasn't any other psychological deal about, hey, that's the alpha. He needs to get the most targets. I don't see that. And is that part of the depth? Yeah, I think there is, because, assuming where Ben Ford's going to fit in, it's like 5 or 6 guys. I could easily see having a real solid year, and maybe you'll have 5 guys get between 20 and 40 catches, and it'll work that way. I'm not sure, but my takeaway from the receiver room feels like they get along better this year, and I don't know if they're more supportive of each other, but I did hear a little bit of that too.
Yeah, and it was a key word, selfish was another takeaway, kind of going off what you're kind of saying there with the wide receiver group, and everyone points to Chris Marshall, and we talked about it on our show yesterday. Nathan's going to have a full article, Johnny, coming out today. There were multiple players that mentioned the word selfish, and I don't know how it came up with us with Cam Bates. He was just didn't ask about it. It's just a conversation with Cam Bates Nathan was having on the show, and Cam Bates kind of said, I think it was selfishness from last year. At some points, players would be selfish about something that's not going their way. So if everyone does their 1/11th and get the job done when the play comes, it'll be different this year. And Nathan, we kind of thought, hey, maybe he just kind of spoke out of tune. He's just one guy, whatever. Well, no, he went around, as a good reporter should do, and started asking other guys. Selfish. Was anybody selfish? Did you notice that? And a couple other players did go out of their way to say that there was just some bad attitudes and some selfishness on the team last year. And it sounds like that turns out to be a fact, that it was a team that had some guys, and we all know Devon Banks, Johnny, right, got kicked off the team. Was it midway through the season? He had some issues early in the season.
Who?
Devon Banks, a corner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He was on the team. There was some plays where he wasn't hustling against South Florida, and then he ended up losing his starting job, and then he was essentially kicked off the team. We obviously
he got
know about
beat
Chris
out,
Marshall.
by the way. He
What's
got
that?
beat out by Jaden Mickey.
Yep.
He didn't lose his job because he was, that's true. Because Mickey showed up late, if you remember, and Devon Banks was able to hold him off in fall camp until USF. And then, that was a smart move getting Mickey in there.
Yep. That was, something, Johnny, you show up at media days and you're not really sure, like sometimes like a word or a theme comes up that you don't like, so you go in there with your questions you're going to ask, you're trying to get your stories. And sometimes they just say something where it's like, oh, wow, tell me more. And I think that was what kind of heard from the selfishness aspect. And so again, they weren't naming names. You can certainly say Chris Marshall probably fell into that category. Devon Banks certainly probably did if he got kicked off the team. I don't know who else is gone now. I'd have to look at the roster to see who else was quote unquote selfish. Maybe, but multiple people said it, Johnny, that there's just a better vibe, a better culture around the team this year.
I totally sensed that in spring ball and have been saying it for months. Like this team way more so reminds me of like a Boise State team 22 years ago. Like there's no real stars. Heck, there might not even be an NFL guy. Maybe you'll have Darren College. Like who cares? We're going to win games. We're going to be together. We're going to work our tail off. We're going to fight our tail off, and hopefully we're going to win our tail off. And I sense that kind of with this team, that underdog mentality. Last year's team, and maybe as they should have, they kind of lived off the Ashton Genty mojo. They went to the CFP, man. That's all we were talking this time last year. Get back. How do they get back? Oh, they'll get back. They got all this stuff, and they didn't. They went 0-1, and couldn't beat a good team last season. Got embarrassed in a bowl game, and we all know what certainly happened there with last season, BJ. But it felt like they kind of maybe they had swag that they shouldn't have had. I don't know. I mean, it felt like last year's team. This team, I don't see swagger. Like you heard me mention a million times in spring ball. There wasn't any trash talk, and that wasn't a Spencer Danielson thing. That's just this culture growing organically and this team being this team. Some teams want to trash talk after every play. The DBs and the receivers, sidelines, bad words, whatever, football, like they do that. This team doesn't do that, so I've noticed that, and I don't know which is better, have swag or not. Just freaking win. But this team, I think, knows who it is. And I think, yes, this team likes each other a lot more. I saw a couple plays last year from our seat in the Paul J. Schneider press box. You could see a play to a receiver, say it's a receiver who'd been here a while, didn't get the ball maybe because Maddox didn't see him, didn't get the ball maybe because, I don't know, he was the third option and Mad Dog went to his first. I don't know, didn't get the ball. And just kind of by himself, just walked all pissed off the sidelines because it was on third down, and then just sat on the bench by himself for a good 10 minutes. And then I'd see other receivers kind of walk over, try to high five him and talk to him, and it'd just be like shaking his head, just and I get it, you're frustrated. You're supposed to go to the NFL, right? All those guys, it's not working out for you, and it's really, really, really easy to not blame you. Really easy to put it someone else, right? Victory has 1,000 fathers, BJ. Defeat is an orphan. I get it, man. But last season, the body language, I talked about this with Mad Dog yesterday too. He had a receiver last year that went into the locker room in the middle of a game. And it didn't get really reported or talked about, and I've heard a couple different stories, but I think it was in Logan. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Reno.
Thank you. Reno. It left during a game, in the middle of the game. Like, it was just, I don't think we're going to have that this year, man. I don't. And if we do, I would expect Maddox Madsen to not have a problem at all busting somebody's ass if he senses any of that. So the togetherness, I'll just go back to the beginning. This does kind of remind me of some of those old school RD Jared Zabransky teams, man.
How about this? The stable BSU, Johnny. Devon Banks sent me a DM and tried to talk bleep when I called him lazy in the secondary.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of that's a flex. Nice job, stable.
Tequila Gus says, morning, gentlemen. How well attended was Media Day? There was actually a lot of people there. Most TV stations were there, right, Johnny?
KBOI was there. TV stations, I saw. I think I saw all three. I saw two for sure.
Both newspapers.
Yep. The newspapers.
We were there.
Hell, the Yahoo from Shirts and Skins showed up.
There was somebody asking about that. Was Matt Lamb? I think I saw who was there. Was it Matt?
Matt Lamb was there, and it was good to see him. And he had some really good questions. And I bet there's a hell of an episode of Shirts and Skins on the way if they use that content well. So, there was a lot of people there, BJ.
Yeah, it was a cool event. They had the tents. It actually, were you guys hot, Johnny, out there on the concourse? It was a little warm, but it could have been worse if the sun had been just straight shining down. The kind of wildfire smoke or clouds, whatever it was, helped a little bit. It was a little warm, but they provided water for us, and it was nice, and it was a good event. So overall, Johnny, before we move on, successful day. Anything else stand out to you? Any other directions you want to go with Media Day?
One thing and it felt like this was Maddox Madsen's suggestion based on Prater and I's interview with him yesterday, that Nate Potter not having to coach tight ends is going to be very, very beneficial, first and foremost, to Maddox Madsen. Maddox said there were times last year that he'd be studying with Zach Hill. They'd like something, and he would have to wait because it's not Zach Hill's call to put it in the game plan or for whatever the situation. Maddox would have to wait till he could get with Potter and say, hey, Zach Hill and I like this. Can we put it in? Now he doesn't have to do that. Potter's there the whole time. And from you hear what Nate Potter said, feels like this is a really good relationship. And it felt like they didn't have much of a relationship last year outside of just business. This year looks like it's more personal. Maddox Madsen said he went to Spencer Danielson and said, is there any way we can work this out? It's a lot better if I just have my OC because, Nate doesn't coach quarterbacks. So this is helping. That was another takeaway. I'm not saying it's going to be, this is going to be a historic Boise State offense. They're going to lead the league in scoring nationally, all that stuff. No, but I think it's going to help. Hopefully that help translates into wins and a CFP trip for this fan base. But that was another good takeaway. Nate Potter and Maddox Madsen, I think, are more connected this year. Justin Udy is going to coach tight ends, and I've heard nothing but good things about him. Young, energetic, inspirational, fire the room up. They're in a good spot right now, I think, with Potter not having to fart around with tight ends anymore, and he can just be the OC. This is big boy football. Have an OC, be an OC. And that's cool that they did that.
I agree, Johnny. Totally agree. Sorry, my son, even for his baseball game, was telling him bye. We got regionals, man. Nice. I just want to get
nice. Let's go
real quick.
Where's he hitting in the lineup?
I don't make the lineup. I'm not coaching this team.
Where did he hit last game?
Fifth, I think.
Nice. Okay.
Number 5 hitter. 5 home runs this year. So they have to use different bats, though, Johnny. You're probably not familiar with this. With the Cal Ripken official, state and regional tournaments, you have to use bats that are not as juiced. They're called USA bats as opposed to USSSA bats. So
do you prefer that? You prefer that or no?
No, I want to see the kids hit bombs and tanks and
you want the TPX? The old school. Is that what we used? Is it an Easton TPX?
Yeah, I don't think they have that anymore.
Those bats, man.
Yeah.
Damn, that thing was light, man.
Yeah, dude. And some of these bats now, dude, you just barely make contact, and they're like just.
I want to get in the cage with you guys, you and your boys, man. Let me know. Let's go out and let's hit some balls.
No, we want to go to a field. I want to see you hit on the real field. You don't need to see us on the cage.
Okay, we can record it, and we'll have some fun, man. We should do
all right.
We'll do a BNN.
All right, well, One more thing I want to get to, just a second though, Johnny, here. Element Fencing, elementfencing.com. Brady and his staff ready to help you build that perfect project from the ground up. Elementfencing.com. Decks, pergolas, they can do it all. Check them out online, elementfencing.com. I mentioned Matt Bauscher Real Estate. Number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, Matt's your guy, 252-9877. Check them out online, BauscherRealEstate.com. Signature Roofing. New roof, repair to your roof, all your roofing needs. Hit up the official roofer of Bronco Nation News, and that is Signature Roofing. Again, online at mysignatureroofing.com. Ropaint.com as well, roepaint.com. All your painting needs, interior, exterior painting, concrete coatings. Check them out, ropaint.com. And, of course, Ridley's Family Markets as well. ShopRidleys.com, Ridley's Family Markets. I appreciate Ridley's for their support of Bronco Nation News. Visit a Ridley's Family Markets near that CUNA location, the Star location as well. And Jackson's, if you want to get out to Roaring Springs, we can save you $32. Buy 2 Coca-Cola products from Jackson's or Extra Mile by Jackson's. You get the voucher. You get for $8 off. You can use it 4 times, and you save up to $32 at Roaring Springs when you take the family. So check out Jackson's, and don't forget, they got that 99-cent bigger fountain drink from our friends at Jackson's. All right, Johnny, we teamed up with Collect BSU. I don't know if you've been on a show yet since we've done this, but we teamed up with Collect BSU, and fans are submitting their favorite memories of the 40 years of the blue turf. They've got to submit it in 40 seconds or less. There's going to be 40 entries, 1 per day for the next 5 weeks leading up to the Memphis game. We kind of planned this all out, and we're taking submissions. You can email me, rains@bronconationnews.com. rains@bronconationnews.com. 40 seconds or less. You on camera yourself. Don't send me the clip of Ashton Genty running down the sideline. We've all seen it. We want you on camera talking about your memory, talking about the goalpost being torn down. Give us your thoughts, 40 seconds or less. And the winner, Johnny, we're going to have 2 winners. One for the creative and coolest video, coolest memory. And then we're just going to put everybody in the pot that turns one in. And we're going to give away a autographed Gene Blameyer shadow box with an original piece of the 1986 blue turf. So all you have to do is submit yourself talking about your favorite memory of the blue, and you're automatically entered to win that shadow box. And then if you do have a creative one or you sneak in and edit, last week, Johnny, we had a video of a kid talking about he dapped Ashton Genty up before the Washington State game and said, "I want 4 touchdowns." Genty looked at him and said, "I got you." And then he went and got 4 touchdowns. He actually had the video of Genty saying that and played it while he was talking about it. And that was pretty cool. So we want your favorite memories. And we've got today's memory here. This is from Colin Belknap. Always enjoy Colin. It's funny too, Johnny. You see all these folks in the chat, and I've never met most of them. You see their name, and you kind of picture what they might look like or how old they are or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. And Colin Belknap. Let's hear from our man Colin, his favorite memory. And I did jack up the volume, but you may have to just turn the volume up a little bit to hear this. It's a little light, but here's Colin's favorite memory of the blue turf.
Okay, go ahead.
The 1994 season is really important to me for a lot of reasons. It made me a Bronco fan. It was the year that Boise State ended the streak against that team from up north, and that game is what's on TV behind me. I still remember that team. Tony Hildy and Ryan Akibi and Casey Adams with 1 orange sock and 1 blue sock, and that was really the season and this game that made me a Bronco fan. Also, it's easy to remember 1994 because that's the year my wife and I got married. She was working at the ticket office at Boise State, and we've been Bronco fans ever since.
All right, we appreciate the entry there from Colin Belknap. Had the game playing on his TV in the background. How about that? But
that was sweet, man.
1994, the win over Idaho, and also the year he got married to his wife who worked in the ticket office. So thank you, Colin, for sending that in. And another cool memory of the blue, Johnny.
Wow, man. There's some really solid people in Bronco Nation, man. All the best to Colin. And that's a really cool part of the video where he had the game behind him. I've heard Prater talk a lot about the 94 team, what they call the Magic Carpet Ride team or something. And we've had the Al Borges, the OC of that team, on Idaho Sports Talk, and he loves that team. And Al Borges has coached at some mega schools over there, and he'll talk about that team like one of his favorites. I just like the optics of then Bronco Stadium too, with the shed and the way that they would makeshift the sidelines and the the small end zone seats. It was a special place back then, even in the Big Sky era. The only thing I don't love about that video is probably pretty easy to see, but good for Colin there. I hope he's got a shot to win this prize. And everybody else who saw that, now you know what. Oh, get off it. Get off it. Now you know what to do. Colin set the standard. Now you know what you're up against.
That picture on the left is actually Johnny in 1994.
Just about. Those were the days, brother.
Hey, again, Reigns at BroncoNationNews.com. Send me an email. Now, his was actually 41 seconds. Does that disqualify him? Or he stopped talking before 40 seconds, but the video extended. We'll count it. Appreciate you guys, Colin, and the others that have sent it in yet. Reigns at BroncoNationNews.com. Email me, and we'll put you in. Johnny, it's Thursday. I'm sure you guys got some more interviews from media days and things, but what's coming up on Idaho Sports Talk?
If you want to be a Boise State season ticket holder this year, listen to Idaho Sports Talk. Touchdowns for tickets every hour today. Every hour. Wait, what's today? Thursday? Yep. Every hour today. Tomorrow, Friday, we will draw a winner. Just listen. Have your phone handy. We gave away a Boise State pair of season tickets yesterday to a guy named Steve. Congrats. And we'll give away another pair on Friday, 2 times per week for 3 weeks. We're giving Bronco Nation fans an opportunity to win free season tickets, 2 of them, to Albertson Stadium this year, BJ. So pretty good reason to listen, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. 3 to 6, Idaho Sports Talk. You can go back and listen to their podcasts and all their interviews and things on there as well. Johnny, appreciate you, man. Appreciate all of our viewers, all of our subscribers. Go subscribe as Johnny takes this tarp off here on live. What do we got? Now you're doing it. Yeah, you're making us some video game. What are we thinking?
Ladies,
here?
ladies.
Retro team. What are we thinking he's going to pull off here? All right, old school Pac-10 conference shirt. I like it. All right. Well, I like it. Johnny, appreciate you. Go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. If you enjoyed the coverage yesterday, hope you did. We appreciate you guys and would love to have you subscribe. I know at least one person did. I saw him comment that they subscribed thanks to our coverage. So if you like the Media Day coverage, go subscribe. 14 interviews. Again, 4 coaches, 10 players. Go back and watch that on the BNN YouTube channel. All kinds of content rolling out. Nathan's got his takeaways online right now. We got some other stories coming as well. Chris Van Sickle talked to some of the coaches about some of the true freshmen and the newcomers that could make some impact. So a lot of stories coming, a lot of coverage. Go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com, and don't miss out once fall camp starts because we're going to have exclusive practice reports behind the paywall. If you want to know what happened at practice, who stood out to us, some key plays, things we saw, those are going to be behind the paywall and the message boards and things, our daily observations from practice. So jump in now, BroncoNationNews.com, and do that yearly subscription to get the 50% off deal. So appreciate you guys. Mike Prater will join me tomorrow. We're going to dive into the selfishness a little more once we get some more of the quotes from Nathan Carroll. His article is going to be posted later tonight or early tomorrow morning. So we'll talk about the attitude of this team. We'll get Mike Prater's takeaways from media days and things. We'll do that tomorrow at 9 a.m. That gives you about 23 hours to go subscribe at BroncoNationNews.com to go support all of our sponsors. Again, could not do this show without our sponsors, so please support the sponsors, folks. All of our great sponsors. That includes our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise. You heard three of their athletes, NIL athletes, on our show yesterday, and they're part of the leadership group. So that tells you all you need to know, that 3 of the quote-unquote team leaders of the group are, Lithia Ford of Boise guys. So appreciate Jim Sturk, Jamie Drake, the whole crew over there, and we would appreciate for your next car or truck purchase, you go check out Lithia Ford of Boise. Have a great day, everybody. Appreciate you, and we'll see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Go subscribe. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.